Wait, we go like this, right?
Ooh.
Slobs, we cannot swear.
Do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
This close? Oh, my God.
What do you think? Adults.
What are our topics?
Thank you for joining me.
Restart it.
Welcome back to a brand new, all shiny episode of Slobs Anonymous.
God
I'm your
bless.
host, Joey C., accompanied as always my co-host,
KB. I'm
KB.
here. I'm back. How was your week?
Pretty run-of-the-mill. I had a little scare with my air conditioner because
I thought you were pregnant.
Yes, I am pregnant. I'm announcing it here for everyone to know. It was a pregnancy scare with my air conditioner. Yes.
Uh-oh.
No,
That's
my
not good.
I noticed the other night that it was set to 67, as it is at the Capra Cabana. And all of a sudden, before I was going to bed, it was reading 70 in the house. So I was like, the fuck?
I really do feel the difference.
What do you mean?
When my husband
Oh, yeah.
raises it, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's raised.
Yeah. Put that shit back to 67.
Right.
And I went outside to see, and the line was frozen over like a big block of ice.
Oh.
So I didn't know what the hell that was about. I don't know. I'm still waiting to see what it's about.
Oh, wait, but it's
been like
pretty
okay,
cold in
and then
here.
it happened again, and then I like reset the system, and now it hasn't happened. I don't know.
It's pretty
It's been an
cold.
emotional roller coaster of temperature.
It's
I don't know
pretty
what to
cold
think.
in here. I'm actually pretty cold.
Good. I
So
guess
I
that's
think-
the highlight of my
I
life.
think it's working.
What do you got going on? What's
Well, I went to
What's
the
new?
George Strait and Chris Stapleton concert this past weekend.
how was that?
It was phenomenal. And I was really sad, though, because George Strait played a lot of new songs. So-
Not a fan of the new stuff?
Well, I am, but I just like go. I've realized this has happened to me at a few concerts, that if they're not playing what I know, I just don't. I'm not happy
Yeah.
because I've grown up listening to George Strait. I wanted to see George Strait and hear the same 12 billion George Strait songs that are there. He
Right.
has so many songs, and he had to play all this new stuff, but he was still great. And Chris Stapleton is like probably one of the most.
I don't like country, but that guy does.
He does it all.
He does a great job.
Dude, like he at one part he like started to play Freebird and then he turned it into like Outlaw State of Mind.
That's like a big no-no in the musician
It was the
world.
beginning of Freebird, and then he like did this like guitar riff thing and he turned it into Outlaw State of Mind, and it was literally like
Nice.
I wanted to cry a little bit.
Why didn't you?
It was so good.
Last concert I cried at was, I think I was at AC/DC.
Really?
I cried, yeah.
I don't know. I cried at Garth Brooks.
Really?
I didn't cry at George Strait. But he was one of my tops that I wanted
Brooks
to see.
in the house.
And I want my last big two country people I want to see is Alan Jackson and Miranda Lambert.
Nice. I'm going to see The Offspring and Red Hot Chili Peppers this weekend. Up in
This
Milwaukee.
weekend?
Yeah.
Oh,
So that should be fun.
I'm
We'll see.
jealous.
Yeah.
I think
But
it'll be
Offspring's
good.
got a new album, so I'm hoping they're not going to play a bunch of new
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Offspring shit. I don't know.
Did you see Limp
see.
Bizkit was playing this past weekend?
Is he? He's
At
nuts,
Tinley
man.
Park.
Yeah.
Dude, I looked him up because I hadn't seen what's his I can't think of his name right now.
Like his actual name?
Yeah. The lead singer of Limp Bizkit.
Fred Durst.
Yeah, I could not think of what I remember Fred Durst from like back in the day, but I'm like, what the fuck does Fred Durst look like in
He looks like a
2024?
grandpa now.
He does.
Yeah, he's all grayed out.
He's
and
literally the same age as my mom.
Wearing a windbreaker, like with a fanny pack. Like he's just living. He's living the life right
He's
now.
all gray and
Yeah.
like.
He's like the guy you want to be friends with at the home. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the guy who's got like the extra pills that he's been keeping. You know?
Right.
That's
I'm like-
Fred Durst now.
I'm like, oh my god, he looks so old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I almost didn't go to the concert
Why?
because I had severe anxiety.
To go to the concert?
Yeah, because
Why?
I was worried about like some kind of mass shooting
Oh,
or
Cabes.
like parking. I
gotta
was
live
like
your life.
worried about navigating.
But how great was it that you went
downtown?
and everything was
yeah,
fine?
it was great. I was very happy.
I
That
mean, I'm not
went.
saying don't be cautious, but like you can't be scared.
I was like, I'm simplifying this. Anxiety is just being afraid of something that may not
That
ever
hasn't
happen.
happened.
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to
Right.
go. And if I die listening to George Strait or Chris Stapleton, it's not a bad way to go.
Right. Anxiety is worrying about the future. Depression is worrying about the past.
Or
And
the present.
being a slob
Or
is
lack thereof.
being the present.
But yeah.
You got any stories this week, or what's good?
We do have a story.
We do?
Yes.
I don't have to talk about me?
Thank God.
Thank God! Because we know you're not going to talk about you.
So I always talk about me.
No, but now when it comes to being a slob,
barfing and naked and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, we're all naked, really.
When
When you think about it, we all have belly buttons.
Oh
okay?
God.
Everybody
you want to read
farts.
the slob story, or do you want me
Me?
to?
I can read it, sure.
All right, go for it.
Ahem.
Oh my gosh, what a slob! Get it to it.
Okay. Slob story for you. Back in my early college days, my girlfriend at the time nannied for 2 kids. We had a routine for work and school, but one week the holiday landed weird and I was free while she nannied that day.
Ooh.
So we had the idea to sneak me over there during nap time for some endeavors in the basement. Smiley winky face.
Oh, you know what that means.
This is while the parents were at work, it says.
Getting busy.
After doing the deed, so taking a dump, I realized we had some time, so we hopped in the shower, and she joined me.
Wow,
During that
that's
shower,
that's ballsy.
one of the kids woke up and knocked on the door.
Ooh.
At this point, since there was nothing in my sack, my heart sank down there in fear.
Wait, hold on. When you say nothing left in your nothing was in my sack, does that mean that he
blew his cheese.
He couldn't perform anymore?
That was the deed. It wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't. He didn't shit. That was just me being an asshole.
So he could
So the
not
deed
no
was
longer
him-
perform.
Correct.
Okay.
He produced a massive quantity of baby gravy.
Okay. Sorry. Proceed.
Proceed. All right. She went out of the bathroom, and it turns out it was just one of the kids who, in turn, asked why she was showering. She blamed them for getting her all messy earlier and sent him back to bed.
Gaslight.
Yeah.
Just gaslight
From
the kid.
there, I got dressed and rushed the fuck out of there. Realizing how slobbish this is now, and having sometimes hired a babysitter since, I got multiple Ring cameras and I kicked my own ass today.
I love it.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And anybody who's listening and hasn't shared or hasn't shared in a while, take a page out of this sappy individual's life and send us a goddamn story.
I love it.
Because this is very entertaining, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I didn't reading it.
What? I can't even.
Reading
I cannot.
is our hard.
God bless. Okay, so this week
Lord
we're going
bless
into
us.
a good topic. This is
Yes.
a topic that you picked.
This was mine?
Yeah,
Oh, it's going to be terrible then.
exactly.
Oh, it's going to be awful.
So we're going to discuss the things that our parents lied about as we were growing up, right?
Correct. With the adult, mine kind of just fell into like what adults told me in general.
Right.
You know, we're gonna just talk about it.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be specific. Fuck you.
All right.
Yeah, you on the way to work, listening to this in your car. All right,
Yeah.
we make the rules.
That's right. So I was told always after swimming, you can't eat for 30 minutes. You have to wait 30 minutes before you eat. Go back in the pool.
I always experience the exact same thing.
After you eat. I don't know who came up with this 30-minute mark.
Me
If you
neither.
you'll get a cramp. That's what was the reasoning.
They're like, oh, you get a cramp and you will drown. It was
You'll
like,
drown,
you
right?
will
You'll
drown.
because of the cramp.
So I always pictured in my head, like, all right, I'm going to eat this fucking ham sandwich and a bag of Fritos,
Yeah.
wash it down with a high C or a Kool-Aid, get back in the pool, and, like, literally I just pictured in my head, like, just straight as a
Right.
board, like, and I can't move. Oh, no, I'm going to drown now.
Right.
Like, it's not that. It's like I've gotten cramps in the pool and I didn't eat.
Right.
So, like I'm like,
yeah,
oh, shit, my leg. Like, you hold on to the side of the pool.
Right.
And you, like, get to the ladder. You're not going to drown.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're moving around, you're frolicking, you ain't going anywhere. Now I'm getting all angry. I'm hitting the mic.
yeah,
I'm
knocking things
I'm
over.
knocking things over.
Being a hot mess. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
did you, like, patiently wait the 30 minutes?
It was, well, yeah, because my
Yeah.
parents wouldn't let me go in.
But,
They're like, no, you have to wait. You're going to die.
Right.
Everything will kill you.
I wonder if their parents told them that or if they just, like, had a group committee that came up with this.
I don't know. I don't know if it's an old wives. Is it wives' tale or wise tale? Can we put that one to bed on the air? Is it wives or wives?
I think it's wives.
Can we be sure?
Old wives. Like
I
your
know, but
old wife.
Old wise.
Old
Like
wives.
if you're old and you're wise.
No, they're not wise. They're just crazy.
Like, yeah, but I don't know. The old people I know,
They're
like,
pretty crazy.
right.
They're the same ones I know.
The correct phrase is old wives.
Wives.
All right.
Right.
So now I
was
can.
right.
All right. Old wives' tale.
Okay.
I'm glad we got that done.
I'm glad we did too.
Along with the swimming, though, like I would be, say, at my grandma's house,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd be swimming, and we'd get out, and we'd be sweating our asses off because it was 105 in the middle of a Chicago weather,
Yeah.
Chicago summer. And we get out of the pool, and we'd start chugging water, obviously, because you're fucking thirsty. And she'd go, "You can't drink it that fast or you get sick."
Oh, you'll throw up.
And I'm like, is that a thing?
Well, I don't know. I think it goes with the
I've
cramps.
chugged water.
But I have
like,
heard that.
I've never thrown up from drinking water. I've thrown up from drinking a lot of other things.
Right.
Or eating a lot of other things. I've never thrown up because I gave my body what it needed on a hot day.
No, I don't think I've ever thrown up, but I have gotten like sick.
Like
Kind
a
of.
stomach ache?
Yeah, like my stomach
All
would
right,
hurt.
Then maybe I'm just special. I don't know, but I always slammed my water in the fucking summertime.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh, I think everybody.
you get done with a baseball game or something.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
looking for the ice cream man. You got your water.
You
Like.
kind of like feel it in your stomach.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
but like the way she would say it was like, "Oh, you're gonna
You're gonna vomit all over. You're gonna be like
Yeah.
Reagan.
you're gonna throw up."
Reagan from The Exorcist coming off the baseball field.
Yeah.
Did your parents tell you if you don't go to college, you won't have a good job?
Um.
That was, I think, their way of
maybe
telling us
not that exact.
in a roundabout
wording?
way. Like, you got to go to college.
Well,
or
yeah,
else
you gotta
won't
go to
get
school.
A
You
job.
gotta get a good job. The funny part was, my dad was like, "You gotta go learn the computer." And I'm
Oh,
like,
God.
what
He's
do you-
like
what?
so funny.
I'm like, "Dad, I already know I know what I know." Like, we have to know that.
Right. We don't have a
That's
choice.
a prerequisite to life.
Right.
If you don't know the computer, you won't get a
But
job
this
at all.
is coming from the man who doesn't own a
He
cell
doesn't
phone.
own a cell phone or have an email. Like, if you ask him what a mouse is, he's gonna tell you it's a rodent. Like, it's not. Yeah.
Oh,
So when I was like, yeah, like I don't know what to go into, because originally I was a graphic arts major and I didn't know how that was gonna pan out.
You
And-
were?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My associates is in graphic arts.
I thought you were going to be a teacher.
That was after.
Oh.
And I went to ISU.
She went from graphic
gonna be
arts to teacher
teaching to radio
Slob.
host to insurance.
And then to Slob.
Oh no, Slob the entire
All the
time,
way.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Slob was a prerequisite for where I'm at.
Yeah.
You definitely need the requirements for where I'm at. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, it was a weird conversation kind of. And I didn't know any better how any of that worked. I thought you needed your associates first in order to get your bachelor's, and
Right.
they didn't know any better, like, because none of them went to college. I was the first one in my family to go to college.
Yeah.
So it was like they didn't know how it worked, like that you could just get a couple prerequisite
Credits.
classes and then go start your bachelor's degree. You didn't need an associate's before that.
Right.
I didn't fucking know that. So I did 3 years doing graphics, and then a year of doing teaching, and then 3.5 years of doing communication, and then graduated finally with a bachelor's.
And
But
then there you are.
here I am. Didn't land in radio, but I got a podcast. Fuck you, world! I did it. Tell me
Yeah,
I
my
can't.
parents used to always tell me if you don't go to college, you're not going to get a good job.
Yeah.
But neither of my parents went to college.
Right, it
So
was-
I don't know if it was just them like trying to set me up or like
Right. That
or
was the other
what.
part, because I was like, well, like you didn't go to college, but like we got a house and we got food and we go on vacations and stuff. So like, I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah.
And had I known what I know now, I would have gone to a trade. I would have probably been an electrician.
Well, they always would tell us, do as I say, not as I do.
That too.
So I was like, okay,
And
well.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot I would have not a lot I would have done differently, but like there's some things I'd probably adjust.
Yeah.
Because I don't live with any sort of regret. It's just like I would have.
You think about what it
I
would
would
have
have
been
sculpted
like.
things a little differently to maybe go into a different
Field.
into a trade for sure.
Well, trades I think are great.
Yeah,
I like if
We're
I had
losing
kids
people in
today,
trades.
I would want them to go into a trade over
100
going to college.
150%.
Personally.
Yep.
But I mean, whatever they want to do, as long as they don't end up like me.
Yeah. Private elementary school and then right to trade school.
Right.
Right out of there. At 18, you'll get an apprenticeship and you'll be making $1 million by the time you're 30 years old. Like, just
Exactly.
get them in there.
Right. Did your parents used to like reason with you on? And this isn't really like a lie, but I feel like this is kind of like fucks you up for your adulthood
Yeah.
in a weird way. Like,
I mean, there's a whole episode on what they did to fuck us up. There's no doubt about that.
it's like, okay, you have to eat all of your food before you could get up from the table. You have to finish your plate. Did your parents used to tell you that?
Yeah. Well, and it was like, don't waste.
Right.
It was like,
Exactly.
make sure you finish your food because it was, yeah.
But it was like, but if you think about it, it kind of messes with you as an adult because you think like, oh, you gotta eat all your food because you gotta make like a happy plate.
It's
but
not even. It's why I'm a savage with leftovers. 'Cause
probably,
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna waste it.
Right.
I can't waste anything.
right.
And because
exactly.
like they grew up in this 1920s
like
mentality.
they lived in the Depression.
They did. Well, their parents did.
Right.
So it's like they taught
well,
them
not
like
my grandparents. They're young.
whatever. they rationed everything. So it was like, or like that was passed down from when. I mean, that was only 100 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. It was clearly passed down where it's like we don't waste.
Right.
You take it, you eat. And I agree. Like it only makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here saying that doesn't make sense. But it did as a kid. It was like, oh shit, I got to finish what's on my plate. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but then you get to adulthood and they're like, eat till you're full. You have to train your body to eat
Right.
until
I'm
you're
like,
full and
dude.
not until you're like full. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm like, man, like if they would have just said like, are you full?
right. And then just
You answered that question, yes
Yeah.
or no, then okay, yes.
Right.
Okay, you're done eating.
I agree.
If you're hungry later, you're not eating again.
Right.
You know?
And there weren't choices. It was this is what's for dinner.
Exactly.
And
Or
that's
you could
it.
have cereal. That was our choice.
Cereal was always on the table,
Right.
like figuratively and physically, because it was just like we always had it, and there was always milk in that. We went through a gallon of milk like every 2 days.
Yeah, we did too.
We drank milk,
We-
motherfucker.
We ate cereal like all
I got bones
day.
made of steel.
That's actually another thing.
What?
That is not a true statement. If
Yeah,
you
what?
drink milk, your bones don't get strong.
What are you talking about?
I swear, that's one of the things I
Get the
have.
fuck out of here.
It's a debunked thing. Milk does
All
not
right.
make your bones
Guys,
grow
we're
stronger.
doing it live.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Does milk make your bones stronger?
It says no. It says no.
Yes, milk can help bones stronger because it's a natural source of calcium and vitamin C. Google says.
I don't think
Google
it's
says.
true. I don't think it's
A
true.
cup of milk can contain almost 30% of daily recommended amount of calcium as well as potassium and magnesium, which are also important for bone growth.
It's no, okay, but there's different things.
What do you mean?
There's different things that say it doesn't.
Well, then we're gonna put it in the conflicting category.
Yeah, because that's one of my things. The idea of it is, but there's no evidence that can prove that it prevents to prevent any kind of like.
Yeah, but you reading off The Onion?
No, it's under like myths and stuff.
From what's the source?
What's your source? This is Google. Too.
What did you type in?
I said my parents told me milk is good for my bones.
Why is it so long?
I'm telling you, it says that it
Mine
could
said-
help, but it doesn't mean that it does.
So we're both half right?
We're both half right.
I'll take that.
All right,
for the
all
sake
right.
of, let's agree to half agree.
Exactly. I don't think it's right, but that's all right. What do you got? You got anything?
Yeah, of course I got things. You were
Right.
just driving the buggy. I like when you drive.
Oh,
Gives me a chance to sit in the back seat. You know, put my feet up, smoke a cigarette,
yeah.
touch my butthole a little.
Oh my God.
Something that I think was specific to me when I was a kid. I remember specifically where I was when my dad told me this.
Okay.
I was inside of Baker Square, and for some reason I thought like it would. I was just like, oh, like my belly button like goes in, and this knife that I have is a fucking like it looks like it would fit in there.
Oh,
It was like the butter knife.
Yeah, right.
So I like went to go like put it in my belly button, and he was like, "Hey, if you put that in your belly button, your head will fall off." And I was like, "What?" I'm never gonna do that again. So like clearly it's not fucking true. Not that you know what though, I've never tried it since then. It's been 30 years.
Look it up.
But yeah, look it up. I don't believe you.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna challenge every one of them.
Yeah, right. I'll off myself by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But dude, that's crazy. I love the things they come up
It's
with. The reasoning.
Some of them was you put because I like, and then mentally I'm trying to like see like. There was always that song like the neck bone's connected to the fib bone,
right.
and I'm like thinking like belly button's connected to my head, and it's just like I'm like, Dad, this one doesn't rhyme. This doesn't make sense. Like, why is my belly button connected to my head?
Yeah,
It's
right.
just not. So yeah, I don't know. That was a
think
weird one.
Belly buttons are kind of like eh. They're
What
kind
do you
of
mean they're
they're kind of icky.
I'll put one in my mouth. That doesn't bother
A
me.
belly button?
If it's
you'll
a
lick
girl's
it?
belly button,
Oh,
I'll lick a girl's anything.
no, thank you. Did your parents used to always tell you you'll have a calculator? You won't have a calculator or dictionary in your pocket?
Absolutely, dude. Between the teachers and the adults and everybody else, when they were just like, well, and what I didn't like specifically about math class. One, it was the only class I excelled at.
Oh, okay.
And
That was the one I did not excel in.
I know how to do basic math in my head pretty well when it comes to the four main
Adding, step,
multiplication, whatever. So I would put that on my test. Like I would do that on my test. I wouldn't show any work, and they'd fail my ass because
it's all about
like,
showing
we
your
need to
work.
see how you got that. I'm like, well, here's the thing, Sharon. Like, how else do you think I got all the correct answers sitting in the back of the fucking room?
Right.
Look at the tests around me. Nobody got a grade like I would have, and I'm not sitting with a fucking calculator anywhere.
Right.
So it's like, fuck you. But yeah, the calculator thing was always. I'm like, I have my own up in my head. I don't need one. But now it's hilarious. We get to like sit back and laugh at everybody because they were so fucking wrong.
But in the end, though, in reality, I was thinking about it because I was talking to my mom briefly today, and I was like, "Yeah, Mom, remember when you used to say that we won't always have a calculator or dictionary in our pocket?" She's like, "Yeah, but at the time you didn't."
What? Yeah, at the time.
And she's like, "So it's actually not a lie."
They
I
were
was
right.
like, "Well, I guess you're right."
They were right for like a little.
Yeah, right. Half right. Half right.
Agree to kind of agree.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't age well.
Right. Exactly.
It was like Fred Durst. But anyways.
No, I mean, I think he aged fine. He's just really leaning into being old.
No, he's really
Is he rough?
Yeah, he's rough.
Agree to agree,
If you cross your eyes or make a silly face, your face will get
dude,
stuck like
whose
that.
parents didn't fucking say that? And let me tell you, the amount of faces I fucking made, and
me
the amount of
too.
times I would cross my eyes till it hurt.
I'm
like,
right.
I think I'm about to get them stuck.
Right.
Like there's no doubt.
It's gonna
about it.
happen.
And then along with that was like just sitting in front of the TV.
Oh,
It was-
absolutely.
You're like, yeah, like if you sit too
That
close to the
is
TV, you're gonna
actually-
go blind.
Yeah, you're gonna have bad eyesight.
Yeah.
That's actually true. It's not. It's
What?
not real.
Of course, it's not real.
Well, I'm just saying. 'Cause
It didn't matter how young I was. I'm like, bullshit. I'm calling you out. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I'm like, the only thing they'll have is you may get a headache.
Yeah,
Like-
the best was getting so close where you'd feel like the static coming
Yeah,
off.
like
the
on your.
fucking-
Yes.
when I had hair to feel it.
Yes.
Yeah. it was-
Oh my god.
When you first would fire it up,
Right,
You
and
hear
be
that like you hear that
Yeah.
crackle,
Yeah.
and then like your hair would stand up if you were
Or
sitting
like
too
hurt,
close to it.
kind of. You sometimes get a zap.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That, like thinking about it now, none of that could have been good for us.
No.
Like what?
As we were drinking a Mountain Dew.
like
or
revving
like-
up the TV, like you know what I mean, like pull starting that fucking thing like a lawnmower, and then it's like making all these crackling noises and shit. And we just sat as close as we could to this humming box.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, because it doesn't count if you're not right
Yeah.
up on its ass.
I guess it was like that. You remember the big green boxes out in like the fields that would hum and get hot,
No.
like at like a park or something.
You mean the like boxes that would store like the equipment?
No, it wasn't. No, it was literally like a big electric box with like a big lock on it, and it was just
No.
like a big humming fucking box like out in the middle of a
No.
I don't know if I saw them so much in the city, but when I'd go out to Lake Zurich and visit my grandparents, they had one like in their backyard field.
Oh,
Like,
really?
It was, yeah, when Lake Zurich was
So
fields
what
still.
was it?
it was like it's like a transformer box.
Yeah,
Like,
but
and
what was
literally
it?
We
What
would
was
like
like?
play on the thing, and I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, yeah, it would like first off, the box was made of big green metal, and it was always hot,
Right.
and it was humming. Like you could feel the vibration from it,
Right.
And we'd be jumping on it and fucking climbing it and jumping off,
Doing
and,
Power Ranger
yeah,
kicks off of it.
100% doing Power Ranger kicks.
Right.
Definitely. And I'm like, we all wonder why we are the way we are. Like, stand next to those humming boxes.
Right.
That's what we grew
Yeah.
up like.
We grew up humming.
Right.
Did they tell you if you swallow gum, it'll be stuck in your stomach
Yes,
for
they
7
fucking
years?
did.
I mean, like really though.
And
like,
who said like who? I don't know who came up with 7.
Why is it so specific? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know. Who picked 7?
Is it also 7 years of bad luck if you
Break
if
a
you
mirror. Yeah. But that's like a real myth.
Right. That's a
urban legend.
We could do a myths episode if we had to.
Urban legends, final cut.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with 7. Like what's set? Like isn't it lucky number 7? Like
Right.
it's not unlucky number 7.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's unlucky 13.
Unlucky
if you're like,
13,
all right, swallow some
right.
gum. 13 years, 13 months,
13 days.
So no one's like, I don't know. It
I don't
just
know
didn't make enough sense for me.
Right. I just didn't understand why.
And I distinctly remember, again, another story time again, at my grandmother's house, she always kept double mint, spearmint gum or whatever it was, the Wrigley green pack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
Wrigley spearmint.
And she always had a candy like cabinet full of shit, gum, chocolate, whatever.
Do you
fruity
know
stuff.
that? Okay, finish your story because I'm gonna tell you a story
Say,
after
remember
this.
And I would always go, I loved the gum, I loved the candy, whatever, and I'd always pop a piece of gum. But I remember the one night I swallowed a piece of gum like 3 times.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, throw one in, 5 minutes, I'm like, shit, I swallowed my gum. And I had another one. And I was like, shit, swallowed my gum. Put another one, shit, swallowed my. So I was like, if that's the case, like, I'm going to be all backed up for the next 7 years
yeah,
because
you're just screwed
I
for
got
7
3
years.
pieces of gum in me now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
By the time you're 14, you may be able to
I might be able to pass a shit at that point. But I'm going to get real big, real quick for a long time.
I used to think like this was like my thought. I'm gonna get back to the gum thing, but
yeah.
my thought process was if you swallowed the gum, and they said if it stayed for 7 years, you would look like Veruca from
Oh, no.
Willy Wonka. Like that was like the imagery in my head that I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna look like if I swallowed the gum.
I thought I would like poop out a bubble. like I'd like make a like bubble out of my ass as I'm on the toilet. You know what I mean?
double, bubble.
Right. The bubble butt, different story when it comes to that bubble
right.
butt. You know what I mean?
Right. So
Oh yeah, what you gonna say?
speaking of this candy dish, okay, the other day I was helping your aunt, my mother-in-law,
I'm sorry.
organize her house, and
That-
she had this dish. It was like this clear plastic dish filled with gum,
Okay.
and I was like, "Can we like get rid of this because we have all these other containers? Can we just put the gum in that?" She's like, "I can't. I can't get rid of that container. It literally
Oh,
looks
no.
like it's 1,000 years old."
Tell me it was something my grandma kept.
It was your
around.
grandma's gum. She goes, my mom always kept her gum in here.
Oh,
And I was like,
my.
are you kidding me?
God.
So she's like, yeah, she always had gum in the house, and it was always in this dish. So that was the fucking dish that you probably were
Dude,
stealing the gum from.
was it anything even significant, or was
It's
it just
literally a clear plastic.
like you couldn't
Yeah.
tell it apart from anything else?
No.
Doesn't have like her name
It
in the side of
literally-
it or anything.
No.
Like, dude, they are just.
They're the most.
Why are the boomers attached to the fucking stuff?
I will never understand it.
If you're a boomer listening, no disrespect, let us know why you fucking are attached to stuff. You
Right.
can't take it with you.
Right.
When you're dead and gone, guess what? All of your shit is our problem.
Right.
It's a problem. It's not. We're not like
It's a nuisance.
We're not like look at all their treasures.
Right.
No one's thinking that. Unless you got a fucking antique car collection, nobody's thinking that your treasures are also their treasures.
Right.
They're just not. I can promise you that. But if you're listening and you're over the age of
55?
55, we'll go with 55. Yeah, if you're looking at retirement, give us a holler, okay? Like, if you're staring
Yeah.
down the barrel of, like, the next 10 years, you might be retiring soon.
Help your kids
Let us
out.
know what the fuck's going on and why you're all insane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you passed it on. You did a real good job.
I
Passing it on.
I think that watching my parents keep things made me a complete. Like I feel like I'm like borderline minimalistic.
That's our generation. That's how our generation's been described. Because we've been around clutter our whole lives.
Right.
We're like, I just want. I mean, like you can see, I have a lot of stuff.
Right.
But it's like orderly stuff.
I cannot. Like, you've been to my house. I literally don't have.
No, you clean your baseboards.
Stuff.
Like it's enough said.
No,
I didn't know that was a thing.
No, but it's just
until
like
you said it.
I can't have a lot of stuff. I freak
I
out.
agree.
Even if it's stuff I like and I want to display it, I'm like, man, but that's just like a lot of stuff.
My basement is where you see my personality come out.
Right.
The house is like minimalist. There might be a picture on every wall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like down here, it's like you could barely see the white on the walls. Like there's just like posters and
right. That was the weird thing though. Like when I was growing up, like we didn't have a lot of pictures on our walls because my dad was always so strict. Like you're gonna put holes in all the walls. Yeah, you're gonna put a hole
in my wall. It was
it was like this huge deal.
That's how you do it though.
Right. Like
that's how you hang the picture.
And my husband does that to me too. He's like, you want to put holes all in the walls?
And
I'm like, we'll just patch it. We'll move on.
Has no one heard of DAP? Like it's literally just like a thimble's worth of fucking right in the wall. You smooth it out and you repaint it real quick.
Right.
Everything's like a goddamn fiasco.
Production. Right. Everything is like
perfect word for it.
It is.
They gotta bring the director in. Who's doing costumes today?
Right.
You got makeup? Who's gonna choreograph the scene?
Yeah. It's
literally just a
Broadway.
4-minute fucking DAP job, like with your finger.
I know.
Give me a break.
It's just like a thing, but I don't know. Like I have like anxiety every time I go to hang a picture because I'm like, I'm gonna put a hole in my wall.
I get it. It was
because
hard.
It's trained in your brain that you're putting a hole in your wall and you're just like the
your
scum of the earth.
Piece of shit. Yeah. It was the hardest time I had with that was when I first bought the house like 6 or 7 years ago, and we redid the 3 bedrooms, and now I'm like, shit, I just painted all these. I'm like, now I think I kind of understand like
why you don't.
I had it in me where I'm like, I can't put a hole in the wall.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, but I got these shelves I want up. I got these like little things like posters or whatever, like sayings and stuff, like just like stuff for a bedroom. And I'm like, I gotta put a fucking hole in this wall that I just patched and painted. And I'm like, yeah, but dude, you already patched and painted it. You could patch and paint it again if you have to. The shit that's going on the wall ain't going anywhere.
Right.
It's gonna be there.
Exactly.
So putting a hole in the wall, and I did it, and felt good.
Yeah,
felt good.
I fucking command hook everything. If
there's that too.
I don't care if it leaves a scrape. I'm like, this isn't the fucking Taj Mahal. This is our house. This is where we
I want to
live.
be comfortable.
I want to look at things that I want to look at, but I also don't want to look at just like
and it's
shit
also,
everywhere.
It's also an expression of me. Like like this is my domicile.
Exactly.
I'm putting holes in the fucking wall.
Exactly.
I'm fucking around here.
So I guess that's a debunked. If you put a hole in your wall, it won't make your house fall apart. You're not a scumbag.
Right, right.
Know? See, we're unleashing our childhood trauma.
I don't know about all of it, but this is definitely touching something in my brain.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I don't know if this feels good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Going along with that gum, though, anyone ever tell you if you get like a fruit seed, if you swallow like a fruit seed, like an apple or watermelon, did you grow some fruit in your stomach?
In your stomach?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was terrified, but at the same time, I was like, well, I don't know. Do I have to eat fruits or vegetables anymore? Like,
oh god,
if I got all those in my stomach,
it kind of like backfired on them.
Yeah, I'm like, well, then I don't have to eat anymore because I'll be all in my stomach, growing in my stomach.
Did you ever see the like white seeds
from
like
what?
watermelon, for example?
Yeah,
Like, so I would get really nervous because sometimes I would eat them. Like
the white ones?
Yeah, but
you can eat the white ones, though.
I know you can, but I would be like, I ate a white one, and I was like, it's fine. I'm like, but you said it's gonna grow in my stomach, and she's like, no, dude, it, like I took it so
white seeds are like white lies,
literally. Yes. I'm like, but mom, this is gonna happen. I'm gonna be like a mess. And she's like, no, you're fine. But like we probably were those assholes who were like so particular, like. But I don't have to eat any fruits and vegetables then.
Yeah. The only one I wasn't worried about when I was eating was a like a peach pit because I'm like, ain't no way I'm fucking swallowing that
motherfucker.
Like,
right.
they had fucking wood in there. Like, I ain't fucking with that.
Right. Or an apple.
Yeah.
That'd be a rough
I loved
one.
apples, man. Oh my god.
I don't know if you had this, but my mom used to always tell me if you go outside with wet hair, you're gonna catch a cold.
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah.
When I had hair, and it
Always.
counted.
If you go
Yeah.
outside, you can't go outside. You got
Yeah,
to.
like you're gonna get pneumonia.
Yeah, you're always going to get pneumonia.
You're
It's
gonna
always
catch pneumonia.
pneumonia. Exactly.
It's pneumonia.
And I go outside with wet hair all the time. In
Yes.
the winter, in the summer, if it's raining, if it's snowing. The only time, there was one time I went outside and my hair was wet and it literally froze.
Really?
Yes. But that was the craziest shit that's ever happened. That's not real.
Yeah. No, I was told that all the time. Actually, now that I think about it, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
didn't have that in my notes here, but yeah, no, all the time, all the time. Anything we did that they just did,
Didn't
they
want
just, I feel like they just started making shit up.
They did.
Maybe you can get sick. I don't fucking know, but it just in
If
my head it doesn't make
anything,
sense.
It probably
I don't
like
know.
lowers your immune system a little bit.
Sure, but
I don't
like,
know. We don't even know,
man. It's like,
you know?
if it's cold out, it's probably snowing, so it's already wet out. Like,
Your hair's wet. Who
yeah,
cares?
I
You're
don't
going
know.
literally, and the thing is, you're usually just going to like the car.
Right.
You're not like sitting
I ain't going,
outside
but same thing with
building
like
a fucking snowman.
like a jacket or whatever in spring or fall, and they're like, "Oh, you're not gonna wear a jacket?"
You
It's
have
like,
to wear
no,
your
I'm
hat.
literally walking to the car, and then we're pulling up to Menards, and we're going into the store. That's well heated.
Right.
I don't want to bring a coat.
I agree.
fine.
I used to hate the mall in the winter time when I was a kid. I don't wear a coat in the mall in the winter if I'm Christmas shopping.
Oh no, it's the worst.
Yeah.
The worst sweats ever.
I will literally
in
not
a
do
coat
it.
in a mall during the holidays.
Yes.
Fuck that.
Right. And then they're like, you got to wear a hat. You got to wear gloves. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
My mom used to wear shorts in the winter
In the wintertime?
with a sweatshirt. I don't think my mom, like, she owned coats, but I don't think she ever wore a coat when I was growing up. So when she'd be like, put your coat on, put your hat on, put your gloves on, I'd be like, you're in shorts.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?
Do as I say, not as I do.
do.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
My brother, you've seen him. He literally lives in shorts.
So do I. Like,
guy- yeah,
I
it's
can't
like-
knock it
I'm like,
because I've tried it, and it's great.
I'm like, he literally wears shorts and 20 below.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just a thing.
I'm with you.
Did you crack your knuckles as a kid?
I definitely did, and they definitely gave me shit about it.
Arthritis?
And at this point, I'm gonna be 35 this September, and I don't got no arthritis. I can
I
still
agree.
grab things pretty good.
I looked this one up for
I-
real.
What? Right? What? For real?
It's
for real?
it's not. There's no
Okay.
relationship.
I was like, we're not about to do this again.
and it was saying that it's just like the air. It's
Yeah.
like stuck air.
See, I thought it was like pockets of fluid.
it's pockets
Is
of
it
air.
fluid or is it air?
Air.
I'm doing it. As
Yeah,
we
I know,
speak,
right? I
'cause
know.
I'm
My
just
mom would
like-
always be like, "Stop cracking your
Yeah,
knuckles.
stop
You're
it.
gonna
You're
get
gonna get
arthritis."
I remember like the last time they even attempted it, I was like 13.
Yeah.
And like here I am, and I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Look who doesn't have
I'm still
arthritis.
thriving.
I'll probably get it from like drumming and
Yeah.
using a keyboard
Typing,
for
yeah.
the last 30 years, but
Texting.
because I learned the computer, Dad. I went ahead and I learned them computers.
This is definitely not true, and you're a product of this. If you shave your hair, it will grow back thicker.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, like I mean, look at does your hair
Oh, no,
grow
I
back
meant like,
thicker?
is it proven?
Oh no, it's not.
Because I was always told like, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, but it's not true.
It's not.
No, if that was the case, wouldn't you have a full
Well,
thick
I
ass
don't.
head of
I
hair?
don't straight razor my head.
I'm telling you, it's not.
I thought it was with a
not
straight razor.
Real.
Well,
It's
and you
not.
did hair, so like you
Yes.
should know.
That is not real. The only thing that will happen is it may grow back like a little bit faster, but it's not going to grow back thicker.
Does it grow back faster though?
It depends.
I need facts, Cabes. I got no hair. If I could do something
No,
naturally
to
get my locks back,
You're
or
not going to get
am I
your
just-
locks
I'm
back.
done, right?
Yeah.
It's
I'm telling you,
terminal at this
'cause
point.
when you're a girl, I don't know if this happens to
Well,
you.
when I'm a girl,
Yeah.
like when I decide to do that.
Yeah. When you're like 13, you want to start shaving your legs, and your mom's like, "Oh, well, you have to. You can't do it because then your leg hair will grow back thicker." It's just not true. It's false. They just don't want you to use a razor and cut yourself
Why?
and cry. It's just a thing. All girls go through it. That's like a stepping stone in puberty
Using an actual razor?
when you get to use a razor.
I mean, I know it was great when I got to do it on my face for the first time. But
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
It's a girl thing, but it's not true.
I guess.
if you pee in a pool,
What?
What color did they tell you it would turn?
No, this didn't happen to me. This wasn't one that happened to me.
They never told you that?
No, the only time I remember hearing or seeing about that was in the movie Grown Ups.
Are you kidding?
No one ever. That wasn't a thing. Although when I saw Grown Ups come out, I'm like, wait, is this like a new thing? Like, are they gonna start? I'm like, they're not gonna start doing this, are they?
Oh my God! Are you kidding? They never told you that.
No.
That's wild.
No one ever said that.
I asked my husband.
Because we just like didn't. Like it was just like, this isn't the fucking toilet.
Right.
I don't know.
I know, but I asked my husband because I was going through my some of the topics, and I was like, did your parents tell you this? And he's like, oh yeah, they would always tell us if you pee in the pool, it would turn like green.
What?
But with us, I feel like they would always say it would turn red or blue.
Yeah,
I feel like every family had a different color.
You can get the date on when the Grown Ups trailer came out back in
That's
10 years ago.
crazy.
That's when that was on my radar to be like, yo, is this a new thing?
Oh my
God. Like they're rolling out at public pools? Like,
what are you, 90? You're with the
can't
boomers,
have that.
Joe.
No, I didn't know. I literally didn't know. I
weird.
thought it was going to be like a new thing where it was like a real. I'm sure they could do it too.
Oh, they could.
I'm sure the technology's out there.
Do you remember those cups like from like McDonald's where they were like the Batman cups? They were like clear, and if you put liquid in it, they would turn color.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got to be the same
That's when
thing.
McDonald's was still food.
Dude, it was when McDonald's was so good.
It's just not anymore. I miss McDonald's.
Was it Batman cups? Do you remember them? I think they were Batman.
I don't remember if they were Batman or not, but I do remember the cups themselves.
Yeah, they were like
changing colors.
Plastic. Yeah.
Speaking of eating, you can't eat pink meat or you'll get sick. Here's another one. You'll get sick.
I never got told that.
You get anytime. No, like they get especially my mom. She'd get a burger with a little pink in it. She's like, no, it's salmonella in there. You gotta send it back. They gotta cook that burger. And I'm like, are you like now? If I get a burger that doesn't have any pink in it, I'm sending it back for them to make me a new one.
Right.
Because there better be some fucking pink in that thing.
I was never told that, so that must be just like your parent thing.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're gonna get sick if you eat raw meat like that. That's raw. There's bugs in there. Okay, all right, okay. Like people eat raw meat.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. What's that?
It's a delicacy.
Yeah, where you just eat like a ball of raw meat.
It's like literally my uncle used to. You just eat ground beef with salt.
Yeah, and I'm
with
like
popcorn salt, and he would just eat it. And I thought it was the most repulsive
delicious.
thing.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like an actual thing people do.
Yeah. And along with the food, like they were like, oh, if you eat spinach, you'll grow up like Popeye. And I've yet to be a sailor.
You don't have any muscles.
Don't have any muscles like fucking Popeye. That's for sure. And I'm still waiting for Olive Oil. I don't know where she is.
She's peeing in the pool.
Yeah, she's too busy peeing.
Or she's sick with wet hair.
Yeah, definitely a lie. I didn't grow up into Popeye because I love spinach. I eat with anything.
I like spinach too.
Spinach on a choke dip.
I like spinach on pizza.
Spinach in my pasta.
Oh, yeah. I like raw spinach though too, like in salads and stuff.
When I'm going vegetarian around Lent time, like on the Fridays, I'll do like a garlic and spinach pizza.
Ooh,
it's the best.
It is. I like garlic and spinach. If you drive with the dome light on, you'll get a ticket.
The next one I was gonna bring up. They fucking anytime, and it was usually like. I usually needed it to like switch out my like CD, like I was listening on my Discman, or my Walkman. I was like, all right, I gotta turn the dome light on, pull out my book,
Yeah,
I was like, hey, turn the light off, I'm gonna get a fucking ticket. Like,
right. I wonder if they really believed that though. Because I did until I was an adult.
The way they talk about it, I sincerely think they believed it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
That
Me too.
and driving with flip-flops on. Not that I'm driving with flip-flops.
Oh my God, my mom would not ever let me drive with flip-flops on.
But no, I remember being told in my driver's ed class, like
really?
it's illegal.
Oh,
but I was like doing some research for this topic, and evidently it's not.
I
don't know if
it's
by state or by county. I have no idea.
I drive with flip-flops all the time.
Not me.
But when I was learning to drive, my mom used to make me bring gym shoes.
To drive?
To drive. And I'd have to put gym shoes on to be able to drive with my permit. She refused to let me drive.
All about it.
Yeah, she's like, no, you can't drive with flip-flops. I'm like, why? Okay, speaking of driving,
Yeah.
did your parents tell you the animals along the side of the road were just sleeping? Because they used to always tell us that.
What?
Like the dead
The
animals.
fucking roadkill?
They would be like,
No, I knew what happened. I wasn't fucking.
No, they would say,
Oh,
they're
no.
just sleeping.
Oh my God. They just went to deer heaven.
No, they didn't
Like,
say it.
what the
They didn't
fuck?
say that. They said they were sleeping.
No, dude. No. I knew there was too much blood for it to be sleeping.
No, there was usually not that much.
No, any of the ones I saw, I was like, oh, that thing's fucked.
They
That
would
thing
always say, my mom would be like, oh, yeah, they're just sleeping.
Nope.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Didn't get the treatment on that one. They're like, remember Grandma? Yeah, that's the fox. I was like, oh shit. That fox got fucked up.
Jesus.
Yeah,
No,
no.
they sugar-coated that for us, I guess. Oh, how about if you stay home from school sick, you have to stay in bed all day?
Says who?
My mom used to say that. She would always say that if you stay home from school sick, you have to stay in bed. You cannot get out of bed.
Or else
So,
what?
There was no what else.
You get more sick? Like, I don't
Like
know.
you would like that
Or
was
she gets sick of you.
that was like the rule. Like you weren't allowed to play.
Oh, if you're home,
You
you're
have
in bed.
Yes, you have to stay in bed. So like still
do
to this
recall that.
day, when I'm homesick, like I work from home, but when I used to work in an office and I would stay home
Like,
sick,
I
I
feel
would
like-
stay in bed all day because I would think like
If something bad would happen.
I didn't know what was gonna
Well,
happen.
and here's the thing. Here's the thing I've realized getting older, and I get sick very seldomly.
Right.
Knock on wood. You know, I'm not looking to get sick here.
Right.
Universe, if we can not have that
Pneumonia.
happen. Yeah, pneumonia. I lost my train of thought, but I'll get it.
When you stay home from work sick
no,
now.
like when you get sick, if you're not resting, you're kind of fucking it up. Your body needs to rest.
Right.
And I want to think half of them saying that was because of that. The other half was like, well, if you ain't fucking sick, you better get to school because I ain't watching you.
That's
all day.
exactly what it was.
Like, so
it was like
probably a little bit of like, well, we know you need rest in order to heal.
right.
But at the same time, like if you're fucking with me, you best get your ass on the bus. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't fucking around.
Well, or in the car for me. I didn't take
Right.
the bus.
Right.
But anyways.
And if you're lying, that's the other thing. Like, because they want to make sure you weren't lying either. But they were like, yeah, if you're lying, I'll find out. And like, I could fill a warehouse with the shit my parents didn't find out about.
oh, same.
Like they know about it now because I've laughed at them about it. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, when we were doing this, as
Remember
kids,
this
we were
one
really
time?
doing this.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, ma, for corn's sake, I can't believe, like, you know, it's like, well, so like now we talk about this shit and we laugh about it because
Right.
what you can do, Dad? Hit me? I'm 35. Come on,
Yeah, right.
Like, you're not gonna ground me.
You're not allowed to leave the house.
Yeah, they're like, we'll find out. No, you won't.
Did they used to tell you that coffee stunts your growth?
No,
They used to tell us
stunts
that.
your growth.
Yeah, like if you drink
trying to
coffee,
think of
you won't grow, like get
when
tall
I-
or anything.
Because I remember trying coffee at a very young age. I feel like socially and like just so like as a societally, we've like accepted culture, like or accepted coffee into the culture at a younger age now. Like
I don't know.
Or coffee's like a way of life now.
I
Can't start my day without my coffee.
I-
my Starbies.
yeah, I didn't start liking coffee until probably like the last 2 years.
Really?
Yes.
I think I was definitely in my teen years because I loved the smell of it growing up.
I like the smell of
Loved
it.
the smell of it, and by the end of my teen years, I was like, you know what, this would go with the dessert that they put it out with. You know what I mean? Like to have a cup of coffee with like
Oh, with like
with like a
dessert-
pastry
yeah.
or something
Oh,
at the end of a
it's-
party. It's divine.
Right.
It's decadent. It's just a batch made in fucking heaven. So like I started that, and then I remember my mom getting the cappuccino blast from Dunkin' Donuts, and I had that,
And then
and
you're
I was like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
a whole different world of flavor and coffee and everything else. Like it just, and then like the Starbucks trend hit, the Dunkin' trend hit, like the iced coffees and stuff. And I've been a white girl since I can remember at this
yeah.
point.
Growing up, neither of my parents drank coffee, so we never had it in our house.
Oh, my dad did.
And my grandparents both drink coffee like crazy.
Love it. Oh,
And when I would go to their house, like spend the night or in the morning, like if my grandma would spend the night or something, we would have a coffee pot for that reason.
Oh, so they could have their
so
fix
they
in
would
the
be able to
morning?
have it. But
Yeah.
I remember sleeping at their house and like smelling the coffee in the morning and being like, oh my God, it smells so good.
It is.
And you taste it as a kid, and like they drink like 90% cream.
Oh, really? That's where you get it from?
Yeah.
Where you're like, let me get 40 pumps of vanilla and the cold foam brew.
No, but I've actually
and the nitro kick
yeah, no, I've
and the
actually
swizzle stick.
really started enjoying the actual taste of coffee. But
Okay, well that's good.
they I used to try it because I always thought it would taste like hot chocolate milk.
I know.
And it never tasted
No.
like that. And I hated it.
Isn't that wild as a kid? Like
Yeah.
what you think, like you'd visualize it, you could see it, and you're like, oh, I want it to taste
Beer,
like this.
always apple juice.
Yeah, no. Oh, really? Apple
Yes,
juice?
apple
Dude,
juice.
beer to me, whenever I'd watch The Simpsons and they'd pour a frothy like
Yeah,
mug at the
right.
bar, I always was like, dude, it's either like a big frothy cream soda or a root beer.
Oh,
Like
see?
the way it, like you're that, like,
Yeah.
like the way it would fill up, it looks so malty.
Yeah.
And then I tried beer and I'm like, this is nothing
Like
the
what you
cartoons
thought.
portray
Right.
food. At this
Right.
point, we're talking about food again.
Yeah.
Or like the pizza from a Goofy movie.
Right. Or like
Like-
Ninja Turtles
Yes,
pizza.
dude, cartoon pizza had no business looking that sexual.
I agree.
Cartoon pizza was on a different fucking level.
I know. And all the cartoons like like Arthur and stuff when they're eating dinner
Dinner.
when they're eating dinner.
You're gonna say DW.
Yeah, right. They always look so bad.
Oh,
It's like this like
peas and mudge.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
always peas,
Ah,
mashed
dude.
potatoes, and then like this fake
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah, they do it on purpose. And
Yeah.
then you get that shit for dinner. You're like, Ma, where's the pizza?
Yeah,
I want a turtle pie. We always call it a turtle pie.
Oh.
When you get like a big triangle slice and
Yeah.
it's all cheesy, I call it a turtle pie
That's
because
amazing.
it's so fucking good.
I know. It's like I want it. I want to have a Ninja Turtles pizza.
Yeah. And that was the other thing. When it comes to leftovers, this is another thing. My mom was like, "Oh, you got to throw it after 3 days." Or
Ours was
like
7.
lunch meat specifically, like, oh, when did you buy? She'd raid my fridge. When did you buy this? It says you bought this 4 days ago. You got to throw this out. This is bad.
What?
You're gonna get botulism. And I'm like, what the fuck? I looked up botulism. There's like 1,000 cases in the world every 10 years. It's
You're
like
gonna
one
die
of
of
the most rare.
polio, Joe.
Right. I mean, if anybody did, it would be because
you.
I love my leftovers.
Yeah, you do.
I love leftovers because you can always doctor them up. I think that's the process I like. I like to cook and I like to bake. So it's like when I get something that's already like made, pretty much.
Right.
I'm like, what could I add to this? And I'm like, oh, I could always use more cheese, whatever
Right.
it is. Like this hot dog, let's put some cheese on it. Let's
Yeah.
get real.
Oh God.
But yeah, being told about the deadlines on food. It's just,
Ours
it's
was
not
always
fucking
7 days. And then my mom and I'd be like, "Is this?" I still do it. I like always think milk is bad. I'm
Well, yeah,
like,
'cause
this
you
is
get that funky
bad.
smell.
This is
true.
bad.
You gotta wait for the funky smell.
And my mom's like, "It's not bad. It's fine. I just bought it yesterday." And I'm like, "Ma, it's bad. I could tell it's bad."
Ugh.
Because once you taste bad milk,
Have
you live in
you?
fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It-
live in constant fear that it's going to happen
It was.
again.
It's like rubber bands.
Yes.
That's the only way I can
Ugh,
put it.
it's
It's
so bad.
honestly the equivalent to a shot of Malort.
It's literally making my stomach turn right
Yeah.
now thinking about it.
I ran into that issue like 2 years ago, and my dad had milk at the house. And he's like, "No, it's still good." He's the one who's made me the way I am, where I'm all about leftovers.
Right.
He's like, "No, it's still good. Yeah, it's got a date of the 30th of last month. You're still, you're good. You're good." And
Yeah,
I'm
my
like,
mom
"All
always
right,
says,
well."
that's the sell-by date. That's what
Right.
my mom says.
Right, it is. It is.
You got at least 2 weeks after.
And he's like, I had an uncle who worked for Borden's Dairy, and he'll tell you. And I'm like, yo, he's dead as shit. And like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, right.
Give me the thing. Let me smell it, and let me put my lip to it, because now I test every cup of milk, like just a little,
Right, you're
a,
like,
a little like saucer
nom, nom, nom.
lick.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
right.
like a little kitty cat going up to the saucer, and I'm like, all right, I gotta see. All right, we're good.
Right.
We're good. Warm up the chocolate chip cookies. We're going in. All right, but I gotta test the milk out first. I can't. First, I smell it. Even
Yeah.
with the smell, if the smell's good, I gotta taste it. But like I'm hardwired like that now. I'm fucked.
Did your so my parents didn't do this, but my grandma always would tell us like cats are girls and boys are dogs.
No one ever said that, but now that you say that, it always registered that way.
Right? She
'Cause
like my
cats
cat
always-
is my cat is a boy and my
Oh, that's
dog is a
right.
girl.
Yeah, Trixie.
And she's always like, "Oh, how are you doing, pretty girl?" And I'm like, "He's a boy."
Yeah, you're like, that's not a, yeah.
Or like, "He's being bad." I'm like, "That's a girl."
There is something that always just came. There was just more of a feminine vibe with cats. I don't know what it was.
She
and
always-
dogs are just like roughhouse motherfuckers.
Right.
Like their behavior resembles men, and
Right.
the behavior of cats resemble. They're like refined and kind of prissy and fucking pain in my ass.
They're like they're
They like to
pussy
feel you.
like.
They like to feel your leg. Not my leg.
Yeah.
But, other men.
But yeah, I always would. I ask her all the time. Still, I'm like, "Why do you say that?" And she goes, "I don't know. Girls are just cats, and boys are dogs."
I get it though.
Like-
I get it. I get it. Even in like the cartoon world, Garfield was really the only.
Right.
Garfield broke that rule.
Right.
But it was just like in person. It just felt right. I don't know.
That was her.
Just can't
That was the
explain it.
thing. I don't know if anyone else had that, but we did.
One out of left field that I got. I don't know if this is specific to just me, but as a kid, I play outside a lot, and I'd get slivers because I was touching shit and climbing shit and fucking around.
Right.
And I hated when my dad would go warm up that pin.
Oh yeah.
They'd put that flame over like
Yep.
a fucking pin that they had from a corsage from prom or something. He dug it out of a box somewhere.
Right.
Because he saved everything.
Yeah.
Stuff matters. And I hated like seeing the flame.
Boomer stuff
and
matters.
Right. Boomer lives matter.
Yeah. Right.
I hated seeing that flame and that red hot poker. Like it scared the shit out of me, and I didn't want him to prick my finger like to get the piece of wood out. So he was like, "Yeah, if you leave the sliver in, it's gonna go into your bloodstream and it's gonna go into your heart."
Yeah, they
And I was
would
like, "What?"
say-
And I haven't fact checked this because I believe it's just wild.
Right.
Like, what? After a while, the sliver's just gonna wake up and be like, "Yeah, I gotta get out of here. I'm going for the heart." Like, it's a dead piece of wood. Like,
Right.
how does it jump into your bloodstream? Like,
You know what?
I don't know.
That's true. They used to say that
Yeah.
to me too, because I would get slivers a lot too.
Yeah, anything to get out of getting pricked. I was like, I don't want him to stab me with that fucking thing.
They would usually like try and prick it out
right, yeah,
first. Like
yeah.
they'd pull the skin and pinch you,
right.
and it would hurt.
That hurt too.
And then they'd be like, "You can't get it. It's a deep one."
It
And
was
they would pull up this.
dude. When they said, "Oh yeah, it's really in there," that's how you knew
Yeah.
they were bringing out the lighter and the fucking pin.
Yes.
It
Oh
was
my god, I
awful.
forgot about
it was
that.
fucking
They
awful.
would say that though. If you leave it in there, it's bad for you.
Yeah, you'll die.
Yeah,
You'll
right.
get sick.
But
You'll get sick.
yeah, right. Everything's
Just didn't
killing
matter.
you.
Everything's killing you. yeah.
Everything.
Doesn't matter.
Speaking of everything killing you, I mean this is pretty generic, but checking your Halloween candy.
Oh yeah.
If you'll eat a razor blade.
And I never knew anybody getting anything weird in their candy.
that
ever.
never happened.
No.
I mean it maybe happened once in like the 1950s.
Sure.
And it just was like a legend that they
Right.
told us.
And now
forever.
I'm so cynical where I'm just like, yeah, all right, give me the one with the razor blade. I don't care. Like, give me something to write home about. You know what I mean?
When there was a storm at
Yeah.
would they tell you the angels are bowling?
The Angels are bowling?
That's what they would tell us.
I mean, no. The one they told me was you would, if you were in the shower during a storm, you get electrocuted.
Yes,
In the water.
I got that too.
But I think that's real.
I don't know if that's
I think
real.
like because it's something to do with like the
metal.
the pipes. Yeah, the pipes are whatever.
Yeah, but I
they're
don't
made
think
out
it's
of something
real, but-
conductive. Like I don't know. That sounds more believable than most of the shit we've talked
Yeah.
about. Like water and metal and lightning. Like those are
Right.
some things I don't want to be around. You know,
Right.
you're mixing those juices up like that. But
Yeah, they would always say that, but I would always be afraid of storms, and my mom would be like, "Oh, it's just the angels bowling.
they're
They got to
just
strike.
bowling? Oh my
They
god.
got to strike."
They told you anything to just like
Make you
pacify
shut up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Kaylee.
Right? Sounds about normal.
I think the last one I want to discuss. Again, I don't know if this is just me or if they told you the same thing. And I specifically remember it in watching the movie Ace Ventura. There's the scene where he goes into the club and Cannibal Corpse is playing on stage and all the guys are banging their heads and they're having a moshing and shit.
Right.
And something came up where I was either like, I like this or all that looks like fun. And my dad's like, no, those are headbangers. Those guys bash their heads into stuff until they bleed. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, the earliest recollection of seeing any of that sort of behavior was like in that movie specifically.
Right.
We were introduced to that probably
Too
earlier than we should.
Too
have been.
early, right?
Yeah. But I was like, they bash their heads. He's like, yeah, they'll head bang their head into a wall until they bleed.
That's hilarious.
You don't want to do none of that shit. And I'm like, okay. And here I am. Like, heavy metal is my absolute favorite genre.
That's hilarious. No,
the shit they tell you. I don't know.
My dad and my mom got into a huge fight once because my dad wanted to take me to Ozfest, and my mom was like, she's too young.
Oh, my God.
She cannot go to Oz. I was probably 9.
Could you imagine?
And my mom's like, there's all these drunk people and
That's
stuff.
monumental.
You cannot take her. And I was like, and my dad's like, why? We listen to Ozzy all the time.
Yeah. My cousin wanted to take me to see Metallica.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, I'd rather let him loose in the woods. And I'm just like, why? It's my favorite band. I was like 12.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, it's my favorite band. And it was in the early 2000s. They weren't so hot at that point.
Right.
But to say oh my God, I'm going to see Metallica.
Right.
I was pissed. But
well, now you would appreciate it more than you probably did then.
sure. Yeah. I'll appreciate it in August when I go see them at Soldier Field.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't get shot.
Okay. See, why do you gotta say shit like that? You can't. She put it in the ether. Take it back. Reach up and grab it and put it back in your pocket.
All right.
I don't need that.
You don't need that kind of anxiety.
I don't
like
need that
I
kind
had.
of juju. You've put that on me now. Now I gotta go pack it.
I didn't. Anyway,
I gotta use that.
I have a few
concealed
more.
carry now.
I have a few more.
Keep going.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm not going nowhere.
So
You
when
hear the crickets? You
when
talk about yourself.
when your parents say, "We'll see," they never think about it.
Oh no, that is a for sure.
That's a no.
That's a nah.
But
that's a nah for me, dog.
This is a question. Now, did you guys used to do performances to try and convince them that they could? I don't know if it was a girl thing, but we would me and my girl cousins, we would make a dance and then perform it for our parents and be like, can we have a sleepover? And then they'd be like, no.
We arranged this number in exchange for a sleepover.
Right.
Do you accept the
You guys
challenge?
didn't do that?
No.
I think you're the weirdo.
How am I weird?
I think you're the
First off, we're guys. We ain't performing nothing.
We would be. I remember the one time. It was when Santana was really big. It was the song "Smooth."
Yeah.
We made a thing on Napster, and it was Auntie Patty, let us sleep over because you're nice and so smooth. And then it played the song,
God.
and she was like, you guys are so shot.
See, where I thought I was smooth was where I would go home with my cousin Vince from grammar school. I'd walk to my grandma's house.
Yeah.
And then I'd call my mom from grammar school.
And say,
I'd be like, hey, so I was wondering, can I go over to grandma's house today? She's like, well, where are you? Where are you calling me from? And I'm like, grandma's house? She's like, well, you're already there. Yeah,
right.
Fine.
Right.
I was
What are you going to say?
sweet.
No?
We could play, turn on the N64. Let's do this. You know what I mean? I thought I was slick.
Yeah. I used to do, I would have my friends ask, or my cousins ask, my mom, can they sleep over? And then she would attack me.
Oh, I loved sleepovers, dude.
I'd be like, Mom, or I'd be like, my mom will say no if I ask her. So, Kyle, ask my mom if you could spend the night. And then he would be like, Auntie Tina, can I spend the night? And she'd be like, did Kaylee tell you to ask me?
Could you imagine a big adult sleepover?
Yeah, I could. I tried to have one with you the other day, and you rejected us.
Well, that's complicated.
You were busy.
Right.
Anyways.
We'll leave it at that.
Santa, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy.
We can't. What do you mean? I don't understand.
That was all a lie.
No, it's not. Santa Claus is real. Tooth Fairy's real. Easter Bunny's real.
He hops on Homer.
They're all real. As real as you and me.
Oh, God.
Santa doesn't bring you gifts no more? Or does he leave you coal?
He leaves me coal.
Does he? Well, you deserve it.
I know. I don't know. I have a few personal ones of times that my parents specifically yelled at me. The first time I went on an airplane, my mom told me we were going on a train, and it started to take off, and I was like, we're on an airplane.
Yeah, you're like, this train's flying.
That was pretty traumatizing.
Oh my God.
Up until I was probably like 8 or 9, I thought my birthday.
You thought trains flew?
No, I thought my birthday was September 1st, and my birthday is September 2nd.
Get out.
Because they lied to get me into school a day earlier so I could start school a whole year earlier. But for 90%, like half of my life, I believed my birthday was the wrong day.
That's amazing.
My stepmom told me when I was a kid, if you eat ketchup that says catsup, it's cat's blood.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Did you never seen like generic ketchup? It says
No.
catsup. Well, it's a thing. So
I thought it was just a joke.
No, it literally does.
It's a real product, huh?
Yeah, and
didn't know that.
She told me that if you eat it, that it's cat's blood.
Wow.
So I believed that, and I didn't eat ketchup for like a really long time. And I love ketchup. Did your parents always tell you were going to boarding school?
No, but they did threaten me with the Army.
Oh,
they were
okay.
They're like, I'm fed up. You're going to fucking Army. All three of us. We're enlisting you tomorrow. And I'm like, God damn it, don't do it. I like Nintendo. I
would always be told I'm going on Maury. Those kids that misbehave on Maury.
Oh, dude, you would have given Maury a fucking run for his goddamn. Either that or Jerry Springer.
Yeah, no, those like ones where the guy comes out and he's like, are you mean our parents?
Yeah, they come out. Like, oh, you think you're a big girl, huh? You think you're a big girl? And he just starts swearing at her and everything.
Yeah, they would always tell me if you're bad, they're going to send me to Maury.
Yeah.
Or boarding school or military school. Yeah, always.
Military school and the military was definitely something they never like. It never got real. Like, they weren't, like, getting pamphlets and shit. Like,
no.
Like in The Sopranos, dude.
Yeah, right.
No, he's all dressed
he
up.
Really.
Had I seen The Sopranos,
I would have been terrified.
And I saw that, I would have been terrified because of like he had that panic attack and everything. Like, yeah, I would have fucking that would have ruined my ass.
I know, right?
You're going to fucking military school. Like,
yeah,
just fucking yeah.
They would always say that, but and then the last one was if you get pregnant, your life is over.
Oh my God, dude! I distinctly remember my dad talking to me about that shit because he was like, all right, you just doing anything stupid, you got to bring your raincoat. And I was like, all right, like, I get it. I'm like, but I'm not here to fucking knock anybody up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that. And he specifically was just like, no pleasure is worth the amount like that you're ruining your life. He's like, that 10 seconds ain't worth it. And I'm like, 10 seconds?
They would all say the same thing. Yeah, right. Well, that's a dinner bell. We gotta go eat. I'm hungry.
It doesn't matter how many times you do it, you catch me way the fuck up. Well,
I'm done.
That's the episode today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us and putting up with our shenanigans. I think we're starting to figure out why we're all a fucking mess.
Right.
The fucking boomer generation lying to us all these years.
We're Hot Mess Express. That's
right.
right.
To special shout out to whoever sent us a story today. I'm not privy to who sent it, so we're gonna keep it anonymous, I guess.
That's
but
right.
Thank you for sending us your story. Be like that person. Go ahead and send us your stories. Send us your inquiries. Make sure you're checking us out on Instagram. Make sure if you're not following us already, you're hitting that follow button so you're getting all the updates and pictures and any of the dumb shit that we're posting about these episodes. And if you don't have an Instagram and you're not that tech savvy, I completely understand. But go ahead and send us an email at our email address, 2 slobsanonymous@gmail.com. And we'll air your shit. We'll talk about you,
or we won't. Dirty laundry.
You tell us what you want to do, exactly. But be sure to join us next week. We are talking about movies. Which ones suck? Which ones are great? Which ones are favorites?
Top
which
faves,
ones?
Not
what are we looking
faves,
forward to? Like
underwhelming, overwhelming.
If you're a movie buff, you're gonna want to get in on this one. We want your hot takes on some of this shit. We're gonna be talking about everything, every category, everything. Just fucking everything.
Might be a multi-series.
We may have to cut this one up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a giant movie buff.
So do I.
We'll
I like movies.
But until then, if you're not having fun,
you gotta make your own.
That's right. You gotta make your own. We'll see you next week on a brand new episode of Slobs Anonymous.
with Joey C and KB. Tell me lies, tell me lies.
What are you saying?
Parents are liars.
Oh, I get it. It's good.
Are you ready?
I'm always ready. I'm checking my levels, though, to make sure that I'm going to be heard.
Am I going to be heard? Hopefully not.
Heard like a turd is the word.